Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. So in this video I'm talking about how to fix my Harley Davidson, or actually how to fix your Harley Davidson, more to the point. Now, I get lots of emails and comments from many of you from around the world with a specific issue, and they'd like to know how to fix their particular bike or the particular issue on the bike. Now, doing it remotely as I do, I can only offer a bit of advice, but this probably is the best way to attack the problem from your point of view. So I'm going to give you essentially 5 starting points, and then you can work from there. So the number one thing that you need to do to actually fix your Harley Davidson, or fix my Harley Davidson, the number one thing is actually diagnose what the problem is first of all. Unless you find out exactly what's wrong with the bike, you're basically stabbing in the dark. You don't really know what you're doing, what parts may need replacing. So diagnosis is crucial. Now, you can do this by various methods. Obviously, you can do online research, you can look at forums, you can look at videos, YouTube videos, that kind of thing, if somebody has a similar kind of issue or specific issue. In fact, many of the videos that I make are dealing with specific issues, and maybe you'll have the same thing, so you may want to fix that part on your bike. There are many other videos out there obviously dealing with specific issues, so you may just have to search around for it, do an online search. But also, the other thing you can do, you can just ask a friendly mechanic, a technician at your local Harley Davidson dealership, that kind of thing. Get them to give you a diagnosis or a few pointers which you can start your research. Then you narrow it down until you find exactly what the problem is. Now, it could be that it's a very simple fix which you could do at home, or it could be a more involved fix which may require another person to do it for you on your behalf. But at least you know what the problem is, and at least you can have a good starting point to know which direction to go into. So that's the number one thing: diagnose the problem. Okay, so the very next thing is to have the correct tooling for the job that you need to undertake. Now, you might have a small toolkit at home, or you might have a more extensive one, really depends. But you really want to try and identify exactly which tools you need, and then start the job with the right appropriate tools, and maybe diagnostic tools, maybe some specific tools for that particular job that you won't ever need again, but it's that you'll need for that particular job. So research which tools you need, and then start the job. The last thing you want to do is start dismantling your bike. You get halfway through it, trying to fix or replace a part, for example, and you can't proceed any further because you don't have the appropriate tool, or when it comes to reinstalling or putting everything back together, you need a specific tool to tighten everything up properly, let's say like a torque wrench, for example, and then because you're missing that, you're not going to be able to do it properly. And if you don't tighten everything down properly with a torque wrench, then everything can work itself loose later, and you really don't want that happening. So get the right tools for the job. Right, next one. Okay, so the next thing to do is get some books. Yes, service manuals, either Haynes or Climber. If you've got a particular motorcycle, you might be able to find that service manual online. If you watch some of my other videos on how to get service manuals for Harley Davidsons in particular, then watch those, and that'll give you a good insight there. But actually find a source of information, and these will give you step-by-step guides on how to accomplish the task, and maybe dismantle the bike, put it all back together, and also tell you the correct torque settings, and also it'll give you the tools that you require for the job as well. So these are invaluable. So before you start a job, make sure you have all the information at hand. Get yourself a service manual from whatever means, make sure it's accurate for your motorcycle, and then start on the task. Right. Yep. Okay. Got it. Still can't see it. Okay. What you need to do before you actually start breaking out the spanners and getting to work on the bike, get a second opinion from somebody if you can. Make sure that what you're reading in your manuals, or what you think, or what you've heard from other places, from your research, is the correct thing. Always check before you do something. You never know, it could save you a lot of money in the long run. So get a second opinion if you can. Yes, so the very last thing before you start your job is time and space. Make sure you have a lot of time to do the job, and make sure you have the right space to do the job as well. The last thing you want to be doing, starting a job in a confined area where there's lots of through traffic. Let's say you're at home and you're going to have to leave it because you can't finish the job in one go, for example. That sometimes happens. And then you're going to have all sorts of family members coming around and kicking your bits all over the place. You need to be able to plan what you're going to do, have the right time to do it, but also have the right space. And if you don't have the right space to be able just to leave the bike alone whilst you have to go off and do other things, then make sure you pack everything away properly and make sure that you don't lose any vital components as well. So having the right time to do the job, have the right space to have all your tools and all the parts laid out is going to be crucial, but also have the ability to pack it all away neatly so that you don't lose anything. So there you go, that's how I fix my Harley Davidson, and maybe that's how you fix yours too. Just have the ability to be able to diagnose the actual problem in the bike, have the correct tools at hand, have all the service manuals that gives you that vital information as well. Always get a second opinion before you start doing anything, and make sure you have the time and space to be able to do the task properly. Otherwise you could make a big error and it could cost you a lot more money than you ever intended. But there you go, that's how I fix my Harley Davidson. I hope you can fix yours too. It is just a big puzzle piece, but you have to have the right information, you have to have the right technique as well. If you're ever unsure, say get a second opinion. You may have to go and send your bike elsewhere to have fixed. Maybe you just don't have the time to fix it yourself, so you farm out that work. I mean, that doesn't mean that you can't do the work yourself, but you just don't have the time to do it, so you get somebody else to do it. If you get somebody else to do it and you're not 100% sure how you do it, maybe they'll let you watch, and maybe you can learn by somebody else teaching you as well. Sometimes that helps. That's if they're willing to do it, of course. But anyway, so this is how I fix my bikes, cars, machines in the past. They are big puzzle pieces, but once you have the information at hand, once you have a little bit of a strategy and a bit of patience, a bit of time to do the job, then you should come out on top in the end. Right, please like, share, subscribe, leave those comments below. Let us know what you think about fixing your own bike, and check out the website RevelatorAlf.com, and I will catch you again on the next video. Bye now.
RevelatorAlf.